Actually, the first cut of this was 2 hours. And it had the Chandler Merrill story and it had all kinds of things in it. I barely had the money to finish what you just saw. If I told you, if you know something about what big budgets, if you know what a Ken Burns documentary costs, what I did was essentially lunch money. I mean, it was a struggle to fund this. So, yeah, there is, but it's not finished. Again, I'd like to make the website, which would be the equivalent of that to some extent, to get this other material out. But the original cut was 2 hours, and it had a lot more music. I wanted the music to play longer. But I couldn't do that because I couldn't afford the rights to the music. The longer it played, the more it cost. So I was really in a pinch budget-wise. But at the same time, again, I don't think I compromised what I wanted to do, but there is a longer version.
So you've reached your budget. Everything is taken care of now. What can people do right now to support more of your projects?
Buy the DVD and tell your friends about the documentary. Spread the word. I'd love to screen it in San Francisco. I haven't screened it in San Francisco. I'd love to screen it, in Fresno. I'd love to screen it all through California. There's a California Public Television Network. I'd love to screen it there. So write to your local. I don't know whether there is a PBS station here in Stockton, I think, or is it in Fresno? Sacramento. I'm sorry, Sacramento. Write them and say, gee, I heard of this documentary at Chicano Rock. Did you run it? If you did, run it again. That's all I need. And they really respond to audiences, writing them. And so please, it would be great to have it run. I think it did run in Sacramento in December, but I don't know when. But it would be lovely, if they redid it, say, gee, can you do it again?
What do you love most about documentary filmmaking as a whole?
It's my life. I mean, I'm not as old as I'm going to tell you I am, but I am. I've been doing documentaries for 45 years. My first one was done, my first credit in a documentary was when I was still in college in 1963. And in 1964, I began work as a professional for CBS on a series with Walter Cronkite. I was a researcher, production assistant. And from the time I was a kid, I just loved, more than anything, I love real people's stories and the opportunity to learn about the world. And that's what documentary filmmaking is. I mean, if you're good at it and you last long enough, you're able to follow your curiosity and hopefully convince someone to pay you to do that. And in the process, I mean, I was deeply involved with history. My wife Nancy and I have written a history of Los Angeles called Picturing Los Angeles. So again, history subjects often appeal to me as well. So being a documentary filmmaker is to tell stories like you just saw tonight and to have the opportunity to meet people you never would have met, to learn things, always learning, to go places. I've done films in Bosnia about the effects of war on little children. I've traveled around the country doing documentaries. I've done documentaries on science subjects, on history, on every kind of topic you can think of, because that's really what the world of the documentary filmmaker is. And Chicano Rock was a labor of love. I've never worked longer than any film, by far, as long as I worked on Chicano Rock. You can't afford it. And I couldn't afford to do it, and I did it. But that's the passion you really need to do it.
How has your wife been a support